Hey all, welcome to Parker's Reef. On this episode, we're going to do a quick detour to my local fish store who just got in a delivery of some fresh, very well-priced hammer corals and some incredibly tasty crocea clams. Alright, thank you for joining me on another episode of Parker's Reef. And as touched on in the intro, I am actually on my way to do a tank tour, which will now become tomorrow's video, because today we're going to do a short detour to my local fish shop who just picked up a delivery, a small delivery, mind you, just a couple of boxes to top up for the weekend, but has some really nice corals in there, including some very affordable hammer corals that we haven't seen a lot of lately, including some beautiful colored branching hammers. They're going to be sold for $35 a head, believe it or not. That's $35 Australian. So I figured I'd make a quick detour, take the camera with me. We'll go through a quick unboxing of these corals and, of course, check out those crocea clams as well. So let's jump in there and roll the footage. All right, here we are. I've got here just in time to capture Dave doing all the hard work here on my phone. But in all seriousness, it is just a small top-up order of a couple of boxes from Monsoon Aquatics. So it's not too bad. Dave fits it on the one trolley there, and it's not too much of an issue if I just follow him around with the camera rather than getting my hands dirty. Now, we'll get Dave to open up this first box here, and I'll get the camera in there just to show you guys how Monsoon Aquatics go about packing their corals. You'd be surprised at how many bags they fit in one of these boxes. You can see most of the pieces here are smaller hammers. There's a couple of larger pieces in there as well, but most of them are single, double or triple heads of branching hammer, and you can fit quite a lot in the box there to maximize the shipping value, as well as just ensuring the temperature, and there's no room in the box for things to bounce around. You can see the first few pieces here. You've got a few single head hammers, a little family of heads of branching hammer there, and there's plenty more pieces to come. In fact, I'll get a little bit of a sneak peek here. We'll pull one out and have a look. There's one with it's a branching wall hammer, that one there. It's got a couple of single heads with a little wall there in the middle. It's got a few heads on it. We'll see what these look like when they get into the tank in a minute. What else have I found here? There is also a couple of Christmas tree rocks here. Dave did add a couple of those to the order. I know a few customers have been waiting for some nice Christmas tree rocks, so there's a couple in store. And there's also just a small handful of some pretty large acro pieces here, which nice assortment of color there. Those will be going quite affordably as well. And you can see the first box of hammers in there just going through their dip process before they get added to the tank. And then we'll just have a look in the second box here to see what is happening. That first box has been completely emptied into that bucket. It doesn't look like a lot of pieces until you start spreading them out on the racks inside the tanks. We'll have a look at that in a second, but let's just see what goodies are in this second box here. You can see it's equally jam-packed. First piece there is actually a mangrove, which is something we are now able to get through some fairly specific collection processes, but we can get mangroves here in Australia. So there is another mangrove to add to the collection at Dave's store at Deer Park Aquarium. There is, of course, plenty more hammer in here as well. And I think there may even be, yep, here's the first one here, some crocea clams. Now, Dave has had some customers on his back a little bit saying, when are you going to be getting some more clams in? He's also got some gorgonians here, some nice non-photosynthetic corals there. So there are some very, very nice clams indeed in store. But let's go into the wet room itself and actually see these pieces going in the tank. Now, you have to bear in mind these hammers are obviously just finished being shipped from Monsoon. They've just come out of the bag and in the dip process and now going in the tank. But have a look at the color of them. Don't forget these pieces here are going to be sold per head. So some of them are single heads, some of them are double heads. A couple of the pieces may be cut up, but we'll try and keep them as the collection of the group of heads at first. And if they don't sell it, that will then break them up. But have a look at the colors there. You can see the yellows, the greens, absolutely vibrant colors. Don't forget what is going to be very, very affordable hammers. Now, Dave does tell me that the first there are some canary hammers in here. So the canary ones are the ones obviously a bit yellower. They will be sold at $60 a head. They do just come at a small premium. But all of the others here will be $35 a head. And they also fit in that 3 for $90 deal, which the rest of Dave's $35 corals do. So you can pick up either a small hammer garden. You can get 3 different heads, or you can get one piece with a couple heads, mix and match. Make an absolutely stunning hammer garden for very, very little Australian dollars, which is quite difficult difficult to do at the moment with the price of everything, not just corals, but shipping, fuel, electricity. It's not easy to get affordable corals, so Dave has done well with Monsoon Aquatics here to make these affordable to the masses, but something that does cost just a little bit more. I must admit, these aren't too expensive, but let's have a look at these wild collected crocea clams. I know there is one ultra piece in here, or one master, a couple of A grades, and then a couple of cheaper ones as well. So we'll check those clams out in a second when they open up. You can see my terrible handwriting there of $35 a head, or 3 for $90. I'm going to blame that on the paint pen. It wasn't just my handwriting, but the hammers have started to open up now. You can see the colors on those. These ones have been sorted, so these ones are all $35 a head. Very, very affordable. And like I said, there are single heads, double heads. Some of those can be cut up as well. There's some of the bigger pieces or more premium pieces over on this side here. Ignore those prices on the glass. These will need to be updated, but some very, very nice pieces in there. And we might just scoot across and check out the clams while we're here as well, because they have opened up very quickly indeed. The prices on those clams is correct. The Ultra is $700. Then we've got a couple of 300s there, a couple of 500s, and another 300. So some very good ranged price clams. You can see the colors of them. Obviously, the higher the price, the more extreme the colors. But even these $300 pieces have got some beautiful markings on them. Don't forget, they are crocea clams, which are bit of a special clam in my opinion, and they look absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, these hammers here are still opening up, but I must admit, it's not just the cheap hammers and the very tasty crocea clams that brought me in store today. Dave has had an awesome range of fish for a few weeks now, and there's plenty here that have been calling my name that I must admit I'm tempted to add to my Dream Reef tank. There's that beautiful pink leopard wrasse there. It looks an absolute treat. Not something you see every day that I would love to add to my system. The Regal Angel up there. Every time I see a Regal Angel in someone else's tank, I wonder if I could pull it off in my Dream Reef tank. I'm not sure if it's worth the risk, but it is a mighty pretty fish in there, that's for sure. And there's a pair of zebra angels in there as well, which is pretty cool to see. Over in this system, there are some leopard wrasse, which I know are not the most exotic fish under the sun, but particularly these red leopards, just a beautiful fish, got a real presence about them. A little bit of a trickier fish, but I'd like to think after 10 plus years of reef keeping, I'd be a chance at least to keep them going in my system. Plus the yellow and blue assessors are something that I've never kept in any of my tanks, so they always intrigue me a little bit. Over in this system, there's some pretty cool mimic tangs in here. This one here is your standard lemon peel mimic tang, but the one next to it there is that pearl scale mimic tang, which is just something you don't see as often. Obviously a little bit more monochrome in its color, but pretty cool indeed. There's also some golden antheas in this system, which are pretty nice as well. But this guy up here that's just doing his best to stay out of focus on my camera, the 5-lined hog, is a fish that is a little bit of an Achilles heel for me. Is a fish I've wanted for a number of years now, and I have tried before without success, and seeing this guy fat and healthy swimming around at Deer Park Aquarium is something that is really difficult to ignore. That to mention, I didn't get footage either of a yashigobi in store, another fish that has absolutely tempted me for years. All right, guys, there you have it. That is the tour of Deer Park Aquarium. Some very nice and very affordable hammers in there, and some incredibly tempting crocea clams. I'm going to pass on the crocea clams for now, just because I'm worried my angel would probably eat it, and it's not going to look so pretty then. But I got to say, every time I see that 5-lined hog, or maybe even the yashigobi, I get more and more tempted to put one of these fish in my system. But I am still slightly licking my wounds after losing the beautiful feminist wrasse. So let me know in the comments below whether you think my tank's ready or not to try one of these high-end fish again, or whether I should just maybe tread water for a little bit longer. But one thing is for certain, tomorrow will be a tank tour. I've got Manny's custom 8-foot reef tank to go check out now, so be sure to tune in same time tomorrow, guys. I'll have this incredible tank tour to share with you, and I look forward to seeing you all then. Till next time, stay safe, keep reefing. Cheers, bye.